All right, you
Of
good?
course you did.
We're solid.
All right.
Cheers.
All right, Scott, you almost done with your taco salad? And welcome everyone to Space Chicken, the only video podcast dedicated to not wearing pants, but none of us are going to stand up to prove it. Joining me this week, as always, the pastiest paste on earth, Scott. Say hi, Scott.
Hello.
The best 1950s hair going strong in 2016, Berkey. And as always, the guy with 8 canines. I'm talking about his teeth, not dogs. Wilson. All right, so today what we're going to talk about, or what I wanted to talk about, and the thing that's been brewing in my head, was Quantum Break comes out Tuesday. Now, Quantum Break is an Xbox exclusive game. This is not a sponsored show. Just laying out facts about the game. And it was a game that I was not going to get. I wasn't going to get the game. And the reason I wasn't going to get the game was because it came with a very kind of like interesting part attached to it. And that was that there's like a TV show that comes bundled with the game, right? So the way it was initially pitched was you buy the game, you play a chapter, everyone who bought the game plays the chapter, they tally up how everyone played the chapter, and it results in an episode of a TV show. Also titled Quantum Break. Incredibly intriguing proposition, except for that if you buy a game with 10 to 12 hours of a single-player campaign, that you can only play 1 hour at a time a week while you wait for them to compile information and then broadcast a TV show, seems like a total waste of time, right? But it turns out that's not the case. It turns out what they actually did was they filmed a bunch of different versions of the TV show, and depending on how you play the game, after each chapter, you get a different version of the show. And not just like, it's not like a, they're not just replacing like CGI cutscenes with live action a la Command and Conquer from back in the day where like Jenny McCarthy would be there going, blah, 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 whatever it is that she said. I'm assuming that she was in that. I don't remember the other beat. Was it Jenny McCarthy? From the looks on your faces, I'm wrong. But you remember Command and Conquer had those live action cutscenes. You get, apparently, and again, I haven't played it yet because we're not cool, so we don't get anything in advance. You get a 22-minute episode of a show after each level or
That's
chapter
insane.
or whatever. And it's like fully acted out, and all of the character designs in the game are based off of actual actors in the world. They didn't do it the other way around. Where it's like, oh, we did, and no, they got the actors, they acted everything out, and then they did the whole thing. And also, which is actually pretty awesome, all of the actors in the game did the mocap for the game too, so that, you know, it's supposed to be like a seamless transition, which brought me to kind of a bigger concept, which was this marriage of video games. Now in the mainstream, if we go back, it was just a certain culture of us that now rule the world. Into movies, TV shows, comics, books, and comic books, etc. And if you think doing that is even a good idea.
It sounds like a really good idea. What was that? We played a game. It was like an MMO. That was on. It was a similar kind of idea.
Which one's that?
It was on
I think that's what he was
Sci-Fi.
asking.
Yeah, I'm.
What? Yeah, that we played a lot of MMOs.
It was a first-person shooter. It was a first-person
So not an
shooter.
MMO.
Shit came from the sky.
Oh,
aliens.
No. Okay. Oh, fuck. It was on Sci-Fi.
Yes, they tried to do the same thing. They did the
You're
show
an asshole.
on Sci-Fi.
Zero show prep. Zero show prep. Hold on. You keep talking. I'm gonna find the name.
So they did the show. They did seasons on Sci-Fi, and then they came out with the game. And the events of the game coincided with what was happening in the show. And then at one point, I think it did the opposite. So things that were happening in the game with certain, like, you know, high-tiered players would transfer into the show. Like they would they would just kind of give some acknowledgement at some point or another. So it sounds like it's the same kind of concept. I just it sounds like it's not gonna get far because we could barely remember what the name of the show is.
Well, doing it that way is awfully lofty. To try to
Arc was it Arc?
No,
react from and film a TV show based off what your player base is doing. It takes a while to make a TV show, so you're always going to be 2 weeks behind. It feels like it's a bit of a
Defiance. That's what it was.
Defiance. Defiance. Oh. Okay, so excellent. So that's why it got delayed 2 years. 2 years, 1 year, 1.5 years, because they went away from that initial concept of doing a video game and then hey, now we're going to do a show based off what happened in the video game. So what they did instead was they basically replaced the cutscenes with live action, like a full live action thing. So they had to, for that very reason, scale it back. They brought it back down to like a reasonable level, something that works within the realm of things. Defiance, right, which is a show I actually watched the first season of on Sci-Fi. And all Christ, was it so bad it was good. I don't know if you guys watched it, but it
really was.
It was so bad that it was perfect. Like the CGI was terrible, the makeup was terrible, the general story arcs were a little cliche. They made it like a western that took place in the future after some war that they never really explained. They caused a bunch of aliens to now live on Earth, and now everyone's stranded on Earth because spaceships. But what happened was they took that the game takes place in the world, and it ran parallel to what was going on. But you were in LA, right? You were like on the West Coast. In the game, you were like
on the West Coast. Yeah, and the show
was in
place,
St. Louis.
Yeah.
The show was in St. Louis, so you kind of got everything kind of in a radial effect.
So same world, but different areas. So
yeah,
things might affect you, but not direct character relations.
Right, except the characters talk to you for some reason because
every now and then
constantly calling you with a quest to complete. Hey, LA, you mind doing this for me? We're a little busy.
Yeah. But it was a really cool concept that kind of gives the same idea. What I'm interested is so 22-minute episodes. How many episodes do you get from the beginning of the game to the end?
So I don't know because I didn't get that deep into it because, as you all know, I hate spoilers.
You just got excited and bought it.
Yeah.
I know.
Panic purchase.
I'm not going to look too far into this. I'm just going to spend my money.
No.
It comes with a TV show.
No, fuck you. It came with 2 free games. 3. Okay, so okay.
What's that all about?
Here's what the pre-order came with, okay? The pre-order came with you get the game, and you also get the game on Windows 10. So you essentially get the game twice. So you don't have to buy it twice for the PC and the Xbox, which everyone's complaining about. So they're trying to make one thing to rule them all, but they're getting kickback from Steam and shit. But
does that go backwards too? So if you buy it for Windows 10, you can have it for Xbox?
I don't know. I didn't even dawn on me to buy it for Windows 10.
He didn't care. I just heard
that was what I researched. I wanted it for my Xbox. I'm like, Windows, yeah. I actually called my brother and said, hey, you want the code? He doesn't have Windows 10.
You got it from Xbox or like another retail place?
Yeah, from Xbox.
Okay.
Then you get a digital download of Alan Wake, which was a 360 game made by Remedy. And then Alan Wake's American Nightmare, which was a standalone arcade game that was like almost a sequel to Alan Wake, American Nightmare. And you get those for the Xbox, the 360 ports.
Alan Wake got a lot of good reviews.
It got a lot of good reviews, but it got lost in, what do you call it, exclusivity limbo, which is where Quantum Break is going to end up.
Gotcha,
where, Xbox people are going to buy it. No one else is going to buy it. People are going to give it about an 8 is what about was getting a Metacritic, about an 80, which is about what Alan Wake got, which was about an 80. And then, because half of the gaming population on console isn't going to play it, and then maybe half the PC people aren't going to play it either, it's going to get lost in sauce. But you have time powers. You can, shoot, Berkey, you can shoot into, a time bubble, and you can stop the bullets, and then you can make them all go at once and totally fuck up somebody's day. And you can you can force push, you can force dash. It's not Jedi powers. It's what the fuck you're doing. You're doing a force push. And you're doing a force dash. And it's like a cover shooter, but But if you're doing the cover shooter thing, you're not having fun. Like the having fun part is going out and using your time powers to make people fly around and stuff. And all the previews were fucking tight. Once the live action previews started coming out, I was like, I'd watch that show. Oh, that show's a video game. I'd buy that game, and then I bought the game. So clearly,
Now you're super excited.
yeah, because I need something to bridge the gap between Smite and Overwatch. But
This is not open world kind of thing, right? This is more of a guided tour adventure game.
interactive storytelling, which is why
Okay.
I bring up the mixed media thing, because movies, video game movies, Doom, Tomb Raider. I'm trying to think of the mediocre ones, not the bad ones.
Mario Brothers,
I said
Yeah,
not
well.
the bad ones.
Resident Evil.
You could say the Halo TV shows were kind of mediocre.
No, okay, but there were no Halo TV shows.
They were
Yeah,
live
yeah.
action.
They were like live action.
There was a series of live action shorts
Yeah.
that were preludes to Halo 4. That was not a TV show. That was part of a marketing campaign
Yeah, you're right.
for Halo, which was Forward Unto Dawn, which, by the way, I loved. You didn't like
Yeah,
Forward
that
Unto
was-
Dawn? I loved Dawn. It was
I thought
tight.
it was cool, but I think they could have done a little bit more. It was still just like a separate story, and they didn't really like contribute to what was going on with the games and
It
the
told
overall
you
story.
the backstory of the captain of the Forward Unto Dawn. What are
No
you
one
talking
cared
about?
that.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, but that's what you do. So take the Jedi games, for example, right? So the Jedi games are based off of movies, which we do it backwards now. We take movies, you take the cinematic universe and turn it into interactive storytelling, right? Because movies and TV shows, captive audience, right? Go back to the old RPGs of Yonder, where it was a lot of reading. What those were doing, where they were taking a book and turning it into an interactive story. Then you take the more nuanced RPGs of, let's say, Mass Effect, which to certain degrees, depending on how you feel about the final decisions in Mass Effect 3, or things of that nature, where your decisions actually change the story for more interactive storytelling, different from like a Smite or a Mortal Kombat or whatever, where you're just killing things repetitively over and over again. It's interactive story. So you take the captive audience experience of Star Wars, you make it a BioWare Knights of the Old Republic game, right? Not that garbage Battlefront that came out last year. Burke, you love that game, right? Battlefront, that was the tits. All right. So
Good game. It's just boring.
yeah, I said about good games all the time. I was about how great boring games are. No, well, I feel that way about chess. Chess is a really fun game. I enjoy playing it, but it's boring. It's boring to watch. It's terrible. Battlefront is clearly the chess of the console player. And then you made it something really interesting. You made it something, to me, more interesting than the movies. Those BioWare. Did you guys play those BioWare games? Am I alone here?
I played
No,
Mass
no,
Effect.
I bought an Xbox just so I could play Knights of the Old Republic.
That's a good boy.
I played the MMO. What was the MMO again?
Oh,
The BioWare, was it?
Tour.
No,
Knights.
no. KOTOR is
Four.
Knights of the Old
Star
Republic.
Wars.
No.
Or it was just the Old Republic.
Yeah,
It
the
was
Old Republic.
Yeah,
It was just the Old Republic. It was really fun. They went free to play. When they went free to play, I jumped in, right? It was free to play. I jumped in, and MMO player, you're an MMO player. Berkey, you play MMOs?
Some.
Okay. So you know the action bar?
Oh, that was that gimmick. Yeah, that was
All the
horrible.
way at the bottom, yeah.
Yeah, at the bottom. So you press F2, and then it does a thing. And then there was an action bar above the action bar where you would click it, and it would do so. So let's say you had like an activator item. You didn't want it in a hotkey. You could click it. Well, MMOs also have them on the side. So if you want some over here, and you could literally, like in WoW, make your entire screen action bars. You could put them on top, bottom, left, right. It's ridiculous. Tor gave you one action bar on their free-to-play model. And if you wanted a second action bar, something that was just given to you, in any game fucking ever, you had to buy the whole game. They wanted $60 for you to get an extra thing to click. And the backspace I understood. Like a lot of the like even Rift, like when it was free-to-play Rift, you have a backspace limitation, and if you want to unlock backslots, you got to pay with gems, or sub, which is like, all right, cool, whatever. But Tor was like, no, you literally can't click buttons. We're restricting you from button clicking until you give me money.
Bunch of assholes.
I didn't like the way that they did character progression in that either.
Hello, everyone. I'm sure you're all wondering, hey, what just happened to the recording? There were 4 spaces, and now there's only 1. Well, it's really simple. The program that we used to record our very beautiful and usually perfect podcast, EVAR, decided to take a shite on our lives. And as you can see, as we were recording, it was doing all types of weird stuff. There was flickerings, people were moving around in boxes. It was very bizarre. So it took a collective shit on us simultaneously, oddly enough, because we record 3 at a time. So on Scott's machine, he's recording. On Will's machine, he's recording. And on my machine, I'm recording. And somehow, through all those recordings, there was something wrong. Scott had like 5 of us, and there was a buzzing noise. And then mine only recorded me, which is great because I enjoy me talking. I enjoy me being visually represented, and I enjoy having a face that you could touch on your screen if you have like a Surface or something, which is pretty cool. However, they left us with just 1 recording that was usable because it wouldn't have buzzing, and it ends up with a little echo, and it ends up with Ortiz you not being able to hear what he says at some part, which is totally fine because no one gives a shit what he's saying. Here we go. We're going to cut in now with what it looked like as the recordings all died collectively. And then we pick up from somewhere in the middle of a conversation you guys probably didn't care about to begin with. So enjoy it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Not peace. Stay, watch it, then peace. Bye-bye. And then hello again subsequently, but in the past.
Where
on how it looks on Twitch. So make these videos for people who may not be watching Twitch, who aren't playing video games every day, and you're going to catch some fish. So all right, your mom's not going to buy the game, but maybe they got a handful of people who were like, I didn't even know this was going to be a game.
She did talk to her son, who likes video games, and had her son not known, he would have looked into it. So.
Yeah, but I did know, and I had made a decision a long time ago not to buy it. But conversely, the little Overwatch videos that Blizzard put out got me totally horny for that game.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what.
Didn't know they made those either.
One of the most desired video games to movies that I wanted to see done is Halo. I've loved that game since it first came out, and it will never happen, but that's one of those ones I wanted to see made in a movie. And so when they gave out little things like that, the Forward into Dawn or whatever, I was so excited about it. So I don't know. That's why I say diehard fans.
The
Master Chief.
You're a lying piece of shit. Because the videos came out before the game. So if you watch them after the game, that's your fault. Forward Unto Dawn came out literally 1 week, an episode for like 5 weeks leading up to the launch of Halo 4. You're a liar.
You're a liar.
You're lying, sir.
You got bigger headphones, too.
I demand you repent. That's your fucking fault, man. That's on you. That's not their fault. What are you? You
got bigger headphones.
Did he get bigger headphones?
Yeah. Those aren't those little.
He got them shits custom made.
Yeah, like, not even bigger.
Like over the ear? Fucking impossible.
The whole ear?
Jesus Christ. His fucking headphones are an insulated truck tire. That was funny older than me. It's okay. It was a good joke. Trust me. Trust me. Okay, so with that, so we hit a couple good points because this is interesting. The dynamic of the game and the rest of consumable media goes. Because like I said, there's books and there's comic books. I haven't read any of them for any of the fucking games. Because the whole point of video games is movies is so I don't have to read. And don't get me wrong, I'm a reader. I enjoy many a book and many a comic book. But I believe the term is hustling backwards. If you're turning movies into books, that's silly. This amazing thing happened when the Xbox One came out, right? The Xbox One came out. They had a presser. They had a separate presser before E3, before the E3 of the launch, and they had that presser. And they're like, "Look at the Xbox. This is what you can do with it. It has an HDMI pass-through, so you can control your TV and your cable box with your Xbox. You can change your channels. You can do your volume. Hey, it has Netflix. It has Hulu. It has YouTube. It has all this stuff." And then everyone went, "Where are the games?" and got mad at Xbox. They got really mad at Xbox. It was a really odd, like, visceral response where they came out with the Xbox and said, "We're the Xbox. We want to own your living room." And everyone went, "Shut up and show us Halo," right? Which was okay. I get it. Now we're what are we? 4 years into the console cycle?
I think 3, right?
3 years into the console cycle, right? And now PlayStation is literally offering its own cable service.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally,
Better.
yeah. You know why it's better? Because Xbox had to turn around and run for the hills when they wanted to own the living room. They came and they're like, "Nah, we're gonna own the living room. You're gonna love us. We're gonna do everything." And everyone's like, "No games!" So they had to run away from it completely. And now PlayStation goes, "Hey, we're a cable service now," and everyone's like, "God, fucking genius! I'm already on the PlayStation, and now I can just watch TV. Why did no one think of this before?" And
it's just luck.
I don't know. It's you know,
people started cutting the cords and getting away from these big cable bills and everything else because they're like, well, if I just get Netflix and Hulu, I have most of my. Well, how am I going to watch my favorite baseball team? I can't cut the cord. PlayStation View said, "Hey, Yes Network, why don't you come along?" Like, you could watch the Yankees on PlayStation View. If I could get 2 more channels on the PlayStation View, I'd already be calling Cablevision and telling them to get the fuck out of my house.
Exactly. But those ideas were already had by other people who got yelled at for them. And so it turns into, again, the other half of that of what's video games now? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is, like, the purpose of that box in the living room has changed completely. Like, I think to myself, right? So for those of you on the internet who care to know, I live in an apartment, right? And in my apartment, I don't have my own space. My studio here is a workstation on wheels that I just wheel into empty rooms. And that picture back there, I just take it with me in whatever room I'm in and cover whatever mess is happening in that room. So
it's your continuity painting?
Yeah, it is. It's like, and no one can tell because it's like, all right, it is. But no, I'm literally just carting myself around.
Let's do the same thing with my curtains here.
Yeah. You carry those curtains everywhere. Anyone who
You're gonna be locked into them.
One of those curtains is silly. So, I think to myself, like, when I'm gonna have a house and I'm gonna have my man room and I'm gonna have my Xbox in, and I think to myself, I'm like, do I really want to take my Xbox out of the living room though? I mean, that's where the kids watch Netflix. Like, I have to set my profile to appear offline because my kids will be on watching Netflix and Hulu and stuff on the Xbox, and I'm gonna have to buy a whole nother box, like a Roku or some shit, like for the living room. If I take the Xbox out of the thing, and that's what we've crossed over so deep, even though apparently we didn't want to 3 years ago, even though we totally wanted to.
They got kicked.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes when you're the first person in the door, you get kicked in the nuts. So Xbox actually changed the game, and then they said, here's what we want to do. And now maybe it was presentation, or maybe it was the way they put it out there, and everybody was like, go fuck yourself. We want to play video games. I can go watch TV normally like I normally would when I'm done playing video games or when my old man turns the damn thing off. 2 years later, PlayStation's like, check out all this shit you can do. Cord cutting becomes a thing, and now PlayStation's saying, hey, it's just timing. It's just, yeah, like PlayStation didn't invent any of this stuff.
Well,
so when theirs was ready, they were like, here it is.
Yeah, Xbox didn't invent any of it either. I mean, fucking, I'm going to go, like, I want to say Roku did it first. I want to say Roku was the first, hey, we're a box, and this is everything in the box. Like, all of your attempts at not being part of the cable company anymore, you can get it here. We've got Hulu, we've got YouTube, we've got an Internet Explorer, and we've even got this other shit, Crackle and stuff that no one ever uses. I've never. I opened Crackle one time. I was like, I don't want to watch any of this.
The only thing in Crackle is Jerry Seinfeld's thing. But I will say this though. I do want an Xbox One or whatever their next system would be, because I enjoy this concept. Because right now I have a Roku stick, which is $30 by the way, an Apple TV, and an Xbox 360. So I have 3 different remotes in there. And it's always kind of like, well, where's this and where's this? Is this on this one? Is this on this one? And that kind of drives me a little crazy. I just want one box would make me happy. And I got Sling TV too. So Sling TV's on Xbox One. And that'd be great. That's all I need. That's $20 a month for Sling TV, and I'm done. So that'd be nice.
So we already know what's gonna happen.
To the Xbox now, and Xbox can stream to the computer. So it's pretty much a nice setup. So if you wanted to set your Xbox up upstairs in your house and then go down your man cave and have your computer down there, you could just stream the game to your computer with Windows 10. Problem solved. Or buy a $30 Roku stick and then you're done. You just plug that crap into the back of the TV and you're good.
Yeah, but you're still better off buying a $200 like Roku 3. But you see this evolution of like what's the center of the living room, like where is video games placed in media, right? Because it's not, again, because it's what I've been thinking about since I pre-ordered Quantum Break, because my apprehension to buying Quantum Break was that marriage of live action media to it, because it was a marriage. It wasn't like this cute thing that they did as a prelude to it or to help build hype or nothing. It was like, hey, there's a TV show, and I'm like, I don't like. And
you're going in. It's content. We're gonna make a game that's part TV game, part TV show, part game. Whether or not it turns out well is a different story.
Well, here's the thing, right? We talk about cord cutting. I have stopped watching TV. Like I don't watch TV shows anymore. No, dude, I don't watch. No, dude, I don't fucking watch things that I can't control anymore. Like my experience of being able to do things, like I will either read a book or play a video game. Like, and I'm talking about consuming media. To sit down and watch a show for me is fucking painful at this point of my life. What if it was about what?
What if it was about Quantum? Will you sit down and watch it?
Sweat. He's gonna get sweaty.
That's why, but that's why I tapped out of that game initially, and then when I found out it was just integrated into the game, that's just 22 minutes of me taking a break from the video game. Like I can't, I'm dead serious. I watch Dan Le Batard on ESPN, and I can't think of another show. Simpsons, that's it. I watch Simpsons, and I watch Dan Le Batard. That's all I watch. I don't consume television anymore. Like, and I'm talking about the format. Like, I don't mean I don't have cable. I have cable. There aren't TV shows where I'm like, I need to watch this. I haven't watched a single episode of Game of Thrones. I never watched a single episode of Breaking Bad. I never saw The Sopranos. Now, we're going back. That's when TV started dying for me. I never saw a single... I saw some of The Sopranos. What other shit? Lost. Not 1 minute of Lost have I ever watched.
You didn't miss a thing.
It fucking
It's a thing.
these like these big things that happen on TV. Boardwalk Empire,
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, 2 seasons stopped.
Really?
But I can't do, dude. I can't.
Freaking zombies.
It's what it is I think I've gotten to the point where I watch more YouTube original content than I do TV, and I think part of it is I'm not with TV. I'm not promised an ending. In video games, I'm promised an ending, and I'm promised an ending that for the most part I influenced or took part in creating. When you watch TV, you're not promised an ending. American TV, anyway. Like, I feel like if I was watching British TV, and I'm like, really, British TV is better. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying the British Office was 2 seasons. I watched every episode. It was incredible. Masterpiece. The American Office was great for 2 seasons. And then I think they did 6 more. And yeah, no one's striving to tell a story anymore. Like, no one's like, hey, here is the premise, here's the story arc, here's the denouement, here's the conclusion. They're not doing that. They're doing X-Files. Mulder's sister got abducted. Yeah, but we're going to do it for 10 years without ever solving that shit. Like, that's going to be the number one thing going on in Mulder's life. We're never going to get back around to solving it.
Well, some TV shows have come back. I know this isn't a television discussion, but some TV shows have come back around. By season 5 of Sons of Anarchy, Kurt Sutter said it's over at 7. Breaking Bad was over in 6, and that was announced by the guy who invented the show. He said he's like, we got 6 in us, and then we're done. So they're getting there.
No. Okay. It's a video game and media podcast. So go ahead. It's how it all integrates, and we're talking about storytelling techniques, video games versus TV. So it's all relevant, guys. Hey, just real quick. No spoilers. I haven't watched it yet.
You'll never watch it, but yeah, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
People still gotta get paid. They tell you they want 10 shows. You're gonna give them 10 shows, so everybody can keep their jobs. Hey, we want you to do 10 shows. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna do 6, and nobody else is gonna get paid for those other 4. Now you're gonna let the guys make their money.
Yeah, the only people who work for free are podcasters. Yeah, you would have had about them big money headphones, and now you're like,
spend all my podcast money.
$0 and no cents. Mythbusters, by the way, another show. That one ended. I didn't think that would ever end. Mythbusters. Yeah. The last season is happening right now.
Year. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. It's I don't think they like each other anymore. Learning shows and shit. I think they hate each other. I think they fucking.
They're not buddies.
I think this is going to work as a proof of concept of a real-time marriage of these media techniques, right? So we're going again from the game to the show, and where we were doing it in a roundabout way, we're now creating a seamless transition within the existing experience, which is the important thing, which is the thing that brought me back around to the game. Because the gameplay looked incredibly satisfying. Third-person shooter, time controls. Who doesn't want to fucking do that, right? And then it's like, all right, cool. And then this other nonsense. And then I was there with the pitchfork going, this isn't what games are. But the seamlessness of it makes it great. But I am I dare to predict that, like, within a decade, someone's going to swing back around to that episodic concept. Maybe not in a pay model, but maybe in a free to play model the other way, where it's a TV show first, what video game influences, where everyone can play a video game or something that week, and the result of what they play influences the show. Because it would work that way, right? If the primary experience is the show, and you make it interactive through a video game where everyone will go in, play that hour chapter, and what they do influences how they do their show. I think that would work that way, because then you didn't pay $60 to get robbed of how quickly you can finish a game. So I could see that happening.
If you get the right story for a show and the right people involved to make it into a game, the game is the hard part. Like you can actually turn around a television show in about a week. So like, all right, this is what they did in the video game. Quick, incorporate it into the television show. The hard part is when they're like, this is what they did in the show. Can you guys code any quicker? Because all that shit needs to get into that game real quick. As that kind of tech progresses, on you could see something somewhere down the line where they're like, look how these things are mixing and matching. That, or like this one's doing, where it's previously shot, and then based on your play, it's almost like a pick your own adventure book.
I was just thinking,
when you get to the end, if you pick character B and shoot him, then you get episode 6B. And if you get up there and you shake the dude's hand and say, don't worry about it, you get episode 6C.
Yeah, so. and if you can imagine how fucking, like, horny everybody would be to kill off certain characters, if it was a possibility. Like it would be Telltale. Tales. Tell. Tale. Okay. No spoilers.
Well, they try to stay in continuity, but that's but those are more like a playable video game, like a playable comic almost. And I'm not gonna bad talk those games. I hear great things about them, but I'm not a Walking Dead person, so.
Well, they did a Game of Thrones ones. They did a Borderlands one. They did a yeah, silence. Very good for the podcast. What are all of the Telltale games? Yeah, but they were famous for shit before that too. But I you know what? We should do it. We should make this movie game thing. We should get off. We should write it right now, and we should be the guys going, "Hey, play this game." But yeah, the choose your own adventure kind of concept, like I said, but that would make a show fun for me. Like I would fucking.
Well, we might have been beaten to it.
By who?
Have you seen the new Ratchet and Clank commercials?
No, I haven't.
Play the game based on the movie, based on the game, and the game and the movie are coming out on like concurrent weekends or something like that.
Dude, and you bring this up now at the end of the podcast? That's the kind, you see? So, like, I talk about, like, what's going on in the Xbox world on the mixed media. You're supposed to come with that PlayStation shit. That's what you're here for. You're my PlayStation correspondent. You're the man on the ground, bro.
I'm just like PlayStation. I show up late and get all the praise.
Wait, but is that actually how it works? Is that the actual dynamic, or are they just making a... Are they just being tongue-in-cheek? That they're making
I think it's more tongue-in-cheek than anything. Ratchet and Clank, very popular video game series.
I played it. It's a lot of fun.
Been gone for a hot minute. They sold a movie, and then they were like, "Well, we're going to do a new game. Let's release them at the same time." I think it's more about synchronizing the releases for maximum.
That's a joke. That's a joke about video game movies, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, no. movie video games, like when they come out with a Transformers and then a Transformers game pops out.
Yeah, and all those were always terrible. Can't name a good one of those. Maybe one of the early Spider-Mans, when Spider-Man first had open world, was okay.
Yeah, but that was loosely based on a game because you could fight Sandman in that one before Sandman was in the movie.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But I think that Ratchet and Clank was a good bookend to this. That was a Mortal Kombat finisher. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this or have any opinions on video game, video games, games being made into shows being made into video games, the future of media on the consoles, or anything of that was covered in here, and also any Breaking Bad spoilers, go ahead and leave them in comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, donate. Is that a thing? Give me money? Give me checks?
I don't think it is.
No.
Twitch. You get donations on Twitch.
Email me cash?
I think you need a sub button first.
On non-consecutive bills and unmarked packages? Badmouth.com. Yeah, so let's go around and do the social media plugs again. Of course, at BMR, I want to say _ Danny or regular Danny. I don't know. It's in the comments below. I don't know. I used to be able to change my name on Twitter. I've changed it 4 times, but now I can't anymore. So I just made my name No Right Answers. So my full legal name on Twitter is No Right Answers. I don't know what the fuck that means. And then BadmouthRadio.com for my blog that hasn't been updated in 2 years.
Probably should plug that.
Yeah, I'll play shit out of it. Go there and read what I thought about Valentine's Day last year. Oh. Scotty, other than your fucking business as a mortician, you pasty white motherfucker, what else you got going?
Let it go. So anyway, I don't have. I'm kind of redoing social media right now, but besides that, no, nothing else going on. So nothing else.
Bergie?
At Mike Burke, BOURKE 668 on Twitter, and coming soon to No Right Answers Gaming on YouTube.
Hopefully. Willie?
Oh, I'll play with
you. Yeah, so we're doing classic games. I'm getting feedback. It is.
Someone's unplugged.
Scott, did you unplug?
I didn't unplug.
All right, I'm not unplugging anything else. We're leaving during technical difficulties. Oh!